Hey, Kevin. Thanks for joining tonight. Oh, it's been a long day, and I just wanted to come on here and try to go over what happened today. Let's see if I can get myself in here. It can work for me. And here we go. Okay. Hello, hello. Hey, guys. Good evening. What is going on my... Everything sounds all echoey on my side. Oh, I have an echo. Great. Do I still have an echo? Can you hear me without the echo? Give me a thumbs up if you can hear me without the echo. Still an echo? Now it's good? Okay. Awesome. Sounds better. Okay, good. You can hear me. I can see you. Okay. Awesome. Well, I'm on my Facebook page, BCP's YouTube and Facebook. I just wanted to go over and recap what happened this morning. I did not plan that. It wasn't a turn of events that I planned. I did not wake up this morning thinking I'm going to crash a press conference today. That is not what happened. That's not how that happened. It was very unexpected. It was very God. It was very Holy Spirit led. It was very set up in the spiritual and just happened to manifest in the physical this morning. And that's how it manifested itself. I didn't ask for that. But what I did ask for is for the Lord to use me. And so that's how it looked, you know? Looks super short. I'm not tall, but I looked super short there. You know, I don't think I said everything that is to be said, but I did say the things that just flew out of me that I felt needed to be, that were the most important things at the moment. Because this conversation could be had for a lot longer than, 5 minutes. But I felt like a pressure cooker exploding. That's what I felt like. And that's what happens when people don't give you an outlet. That's exactly what happens. And like I said, it was all a God thing, because if the local news or somebody in the national news even, because they ignored me, if somebody had given me a place to express what happened and took me seriously, I wouldn't have been standing there, I don't think. I really don't think I would have been. So, that's kind of how that goes. I think I got to the point. I think I got to the heart of the situation. And I was able to talk about some things that Facebook censors or steals pages for. So I was really glad that I was able to talk about that. It needed to be heard. And I know that there's many different places on our U.S. soil, and every demographic is different, and every situation is different. Other states don't necessarily have the same Antifa problem that we have, or theirs may look a little bit different. But the thing that I'm most responsible for is my community. And like I said, I was born and raised here. This is where I'm raising my children. And so this is where I start. I'm not a missionary, or am I a missionary? But my mission field is right here in my backyard. So it depends on how you look at it, I really, really thank everybody for all the support. And And I've read through a lot of comments, and I've tried to heart as many comments as I could today. And the few comments that I did come across that were not nice comments or mocking me or something, I felt like everybody took care of them and know me way better than they do, and were able to speak for me in those situations. And so I haven't really replied to any negative anything, because I don't need to defend myself against people who think that I shouldn't have had my children there. Well, excuse me for not calling a babysitter, you know? They don't walk in my shoes. I raise my children. No one else does. I'm home with them all the time, and they go with me where I go. And I determine what's safe and what's not. And here we are once again. I didn't feel like a press conference was going to be a dangerous place to be. Now, being in Portland, when you have Antifa, violent Antifa at the press conference, which is really odd to me. I guess it could end up being a dangerous place, but I didn't know Antifa was going to be in the audience. I thought they were going to be behind their keyboards. So anyways, a couple of things I wanted to point out. Let me see if I can go through a few of these. I'm not going to, there's quite a few because I am on several different, I did come on to BCP's platform tonight, but if you want to find me on my own, it's Frankly Jamie. Frankly Jamie's POV on Facebook and Frankly Jamie on YouTube. Thank you for all the support, guys. Super amazing. Really appreciate it. Love you all. Thank you so much. It's a pleasure, my pleasure, and such a blessing that I've been able to, build friendships with you guys over the last year before this even happened, Thank you for believing the words that I say. Thank you for not rejecting and denying what happened and hearing my voice and being a support. I really, really appreciate that. Love pizza, but I'm getting a little tired of it. I mean, I love pizza, but we've been having so much pizza. I'm like, I don't know. Thank you so much, everybody. You are absolutely amazing. Yes, we are all missionaries, no matter where we are. Yep. That's what I'm going with. I'm going to go over a little bit of it is really hard to return everybody's messages. Yeah, I have to tell you that it was actually, what I did this morning was not easy, but that was actually easier than the one-on-ones all day long. It's really draining for me in that aspect. I'm a social wimp, really. I'm not a hero, guys. I just, it's funny because I was the day that this happened or the day after or whatnot, on August 7th. Oh, the next day. I was like, see, I knew I wasn't going to be as mad. The next day when we were at the Sean Foyt worship service, I was like, it's just all smiles. There wasn't an ounce of like anger. I mean, I was angry, but it wasn't like this driven force in me. And I told people, I was like, if my kids aren't here and they're not in danger, I doubt that I'm going to ever get as angry, but it was because my kids were there that I was so viciously angry, but that's just the thing is I should never have, you guys know that BCP has been in some of the worst situations in this city, starting last year during the riots, being really front and center, during all of that. And as it got more dangerous, he was forced to pull back because, there just wasn't enough people for him to be out there to have the protection against these people who just beat on minorities because it's their favorite pastime. But, you guys know that, I hate when I do this. I hate when I lose my train of thought because I take a rabbit hole and then I'm just like, a rabbit trail, and then I'm like, okay, what was I saying? Maybe somebody can tell me what I was saying. Mary Todd. Oh, I'll have to look at that. I wonder who that is. BCP is very dangerous. Yeah. BCP is very dangerous. You know what's funny? Okay. So I don't know what I was saying, but I'm going to come back to that when I remember it. So I want to go over a couple of things in what I said, because obviously to do what I did today takes an incredible amount of adrenaline. Okay. So I am not driven by fear. And I think you guys know that pretty much about me is, okay, so this segues into what I was going to say. As a mother, I judge which events I believe are going to be dangerous or not, but I shouldn't have to judge, go to the extent of wondering if I can take my child to a park in the middle of the day for something that is so basic. Now, if I see flyers flying from both sides talking about, we're coming to stop their hate and we're just going to be all about love and we're going to show them that this, I'm not an idiot. And I know that you guys know that. I'm not an idiot, and I am a very good judge of which event is going to be probably not the best to take my kids to. It's not super difficult to vet these events. So, I've been taking my kids to flag waves since the beginning, right? And so this event, it never crossed my mind that this would be a dangerous event. But even still, we shouldn't even need to be doing that, because Antifa is never invited to our event. I don't know if you ever noticed that, but we don't invite Antifa to our event. We don't send them an invitation like, hey, this is what we're going to do. Why don't you go ahead and pop on in, grab a drink, throw a bomb. Like, what? We don't invite them to our event. They invite themselves. And so we're left stuck wondering, okay, is it going to be safe? Do I even take my kids outside now? Do we go to a park down the street? Obviously, they're going to be very angry that I'm calling them out. And I'll go over a couple of things here in the video, but they're going to be very angry that I called them out, right? So do I just stop living? Don't take my kids to the grocery store. Don't take my kids into a parking lot. Don't take them to parks. We already know that's not safe. Don't go to the doctor's office. Don't do anything, because it'll be my fault if Antifa comes and makes it dangerous. Now, it's my fault because I had my kids there. Like, it's just bizarre. It's pure lunacy. It's lefty lunacy. Okay, so I don't know how to actually pull this. Do I know how to pull this up? Let's see. What would I do? Give me 1 second to try and figure out if I can change this video. I don't think. No, that's not it. Okay, it's this. Load desk capture. Is that it? Is this it? No, that's not it. Okay, I forgot how to do it, so I'm not going to be able to pull it up. But I think all of you who are on here have probably seen the video by now, so we can just go by memory. How about that? Okay, so when I first got there, I was praying all the way there to make it, because the event started promptly at 9, and I received a text that I should be at this event at 9:22. And I was not having it. I was like, no. I don't feel like I should be there. I turned it on. It was super boring and dead, and I didn't even know what it was, and I still had kids sleeping, and I was not ready by any means, and that was very clear in the video that I was not ready for the day. But I couldn't think about that. I turned it on, and I was listening to it, take my dog out, and she goes to the bathroom, and as I'm listening to this, and they're just blaming white supremacy for everything, and the yellow jackets for everything, and I was just like, oh, I was just getting so angry, because it's like, it's not the truth. It's not the truth. It's a lie. And I don't care where the lie comes from. A lie is a lie. And so I run into the house. I'm like darting down the sidewalk, running into the house. Get your clothes on. Get your shoes on. Let's go. You know, I don't have time to call a babysitter or leave my kids home alone. Should I have done that? Should I have just left my 5 and 3-year-old and baby at home alone because Antifa is a threat? So sorry kids, you can't leave the house. We never know when Antifa will pop up and, you know, toss a can of pepper gas at you. Have fun living your life in fear. So we hop in the car, and I got to tell you, it was the longest 19 minutes of my life getting there because I wasn't sure I was going to make it. The clock said I'd get there at 9:57, and I was certain they'd be packing up by then, right? So I hit the corner, I park, grab the kids, come on, let's go. I walked up there, said, excuse me, and popped right into the shop. That's how that went down. This was not premeditated. I, as you can see in the video, was not, I was thrown together, like literally just thrown together. So that's that. Okay, so a couple of things. So when I start, because I had been listening to it, the whole, like, what was that, half hour, so 9:22 to 9:55, 57-ish, right? So I've been listening to it for 35 minutes or so, and I had an idea of what these people were saying, blaming white supremacy and naming one specific group of people. And so, and then I had the truth on my side. I knew what happened, and I wanted to get my story out, and it just flew out of me, right? So I start talking. And then a man in a red shirt that I quickly looked down and noticed he had a Black Lives Still Matter shirt on. And I told him, if Black Lives Still Matter, he better back up. And so I didn't realize he was deaf, and I apologize for yelling at a deaf guy. I mean, it wouldn't have mattered if he was deaf or not. I would have said it the same way, but I guess I could have sign languaged it instead of yelling at him. That would have been more productive. But I wouldn't have said it different. I mean, just because he's deaf doesn't make him like more special than anybody who's hearing. He just interacts with life more with his hands and his eyes rather than his ears. So he's still just as valuable as anybody else. So people are, you know, but I'm on a roll. So I'm not taking in, I mean, I heard what people said. That's why I didn't pursue it any further, but I was on a roll. I was here for my moment, my time to get my story out. And, you know, I didn't really care about his story. I mean, okay, sure, you have a Black Lives Matter shirt on, but I'm an actual Black life. So do I submit to your T-shirt? So then we have the white woman in the back who's screaming at the Black woman to let the white man speak. What? Like, I mean, the amount of absurdity that took place in that 5-minute period of time is astounding. It's literally astounding to me. 5 minutes. We could pick this video apart and show the very heart of the liberals and the leadership in this city of Portland. In that 5-minute clip, that woman in the back that I was talking about, that is the worst kind, she was angry with an actual Black life because she needed the white man to be able to share his voice. That's what we're up against here. And he was wearing a Black Lives Still Matter shirt. So he's been virtue signaling for quite some time now. He's upgraded. He went from Black Lives Matter to Black Lives Still Matter. So he's virtue signaling that he still cares. Except when one shows up and has something to say. Then he wants to whine and scream about let him finish talking. He wants to finish talking. He needs to share his voice. He needs to say what he needs to say. Then all of a sudden, my black life is just not quite as important anymore. I mean, I'll wear the shirt, virtue signal, and all that. But in real life, I mean, when the guy earlier said, if you see violence, speak out, he didn't really mean to come speak out. And let's be honest here. If I had signed up to speak at this, they would have vetted me and said no. And if I had walked up and kindly asked, do you mind if I say a few things? They would have said no. So the way that it happened was the only way that it could happen. And I can tell you right now, there is no more joy than to stand there and look those cameras directly in their face and let them know that they are an absolute virus to humanity. An absolute virus to humanity. KGW, Coin 6, KTU, KPTV, Oregon Live, Willamette Weekly, Fox, CNN, everybody who rejected our story or pushed us to the side or saw it come across their table and thought, no, not important enough, you are a virus. You don't tell the truth. You lie. And that's not okay with me. So, after I shared the truth about what happened and the guy in the red was just not knowing what to do with life because a black life was speaking, I called out Antifa's chants. They chanted Hail Satan and screamed, where's your God now? And the guy with the ponytail and the scrunchie called me on it. And it's on video. You guys have all seen the video. I can make a clip of it. It's not really that difficult. I don't need to prove it because I already know you guys know that it's true. And there's no reasoning with those crazies. And the fact that he had a ponytail with a scrunchie says enough. But then to say, I said, you were probably there. And he said, I probably was. That just like, they don't even hide it. And you're telling me that DA Mike Schmidt can't find these guys? They're at your press conference. They're at the press conference. Dustin, Brandon is sitting right there in his wheelchair, running his mouth about things that don't make sense. We've all seen him. Those who have been following BCP for all this time, you have to remember. Tell me if you guys remember this. He was in a conversation. He's had many conversations with Dustin, first of all. And second of all, and we've seen him. And second of all, Dustin openly admitted in one of the videos that Quincy was having a conversation with him that Quincy was not violent. He openly admitted it during one of his interactions with Quincy that he was not violent. And then he had the nerve to say that today, that your husband is extremely dangerous. Well, I'm not thinking so. And he might have us backwards. Because I'm the one who's out there running my mouth. So, his name is Tim. Yeah. So, yes, he did. Dustin said that. See, that's just the thing. Dustin is the dangerous one. And that's what I said. My husband's not dangerous. You are. And Dustin knows that for a fact. And that's why he didn't really say what he said with a whole lot of umph, because he knows it's a bold-faced lie. He's full out lying, and he knows that. And he's openly admitted it on video, and we could find it. Now, after that, I said, imagine crumbling under the pressure of stickers. This guy had the nerve to put out a video where he is like losing it because somebody's posting stickers of him and he just does not know when it's ever going to end and how far will they go. Stickers, Dustin? Stickers. Let's just sit with that for a minute. How far will they go with the stickers? Okay. So then it was hilarious because somebody actually quoted me and Dustin came back with a screenshot of the sticker as if to say, not only was it a sticker, but it was a bad sticker. I just can't even. I can't even take him seriously. Not only are you crumbling under the pressure of stickers, but it was a really bad sticker. Like, come on. Give me a break. So, anyways, you know what? If you can't laugh, you'll likely cry. I mean, that's kind of the state of our world right now. Is it's like you either laugh or cry about this stuff. And I like to bring some humor to it. And I just, I can't even believe that a grown man would accuse my husband of being extremely dangerous and then crumble under the pressure of stickers when they have literally put my husband's face on an 8x11 sticker and plastered them all over town. So it's like bizarre. So, anyways, that's that. Man with the scrunchie, the loony liberal back there who wanted to push me out of the way. And then stickers. Yeah, I mean, so I did say a couple of things because as I was like just, it was all falling out. I did say a couple of things. First of all, I said my daughter, who is 8 years old. She is not anywhere near 8 years old. Praise the Lord. She's still only 8 months old. And I think she's actually 9. Hold on, let me think. Let's see. Yeah, okay. She's still 8. She's 8.5 months old. So I said 8 years old. That's not what I meant. I actually meant 8 months old. So that was a correction. And then later on, I said that Proud Boys were invented. Now, I didn't mean to say invented because the Proud Boys have been around for quite some time. They started somewhere else besides here. But what I meant to, my clarification on that is what I meant to say was that the Proud Boys, invented is not the word. What is the word that I'm looking for? I'm sorry, guys. It's been a long day and my head is not working. My brain's not. They surfaced here as a unit of protection, but I don't know. You know, they weren't always, my point being is they weren't always here. Antifa came first. Antifa's been here. Rose City Antifa was here long before it was a household name. Long before Joey Gibson came around. Rose City Antifa was here. They weren't masked up and they weren't really a movement yet. They didn't become a movement until they started becoming violent towards people expressing their First Amendment rights. And that's where, I mean, there's just so many things that the media gets wrong. And then I have these people who look at me and they're like, you're lying. No, I'm not lying. I know this truth so much better than a lot of people. I may be just a stay-at-home mom, but I'm not just a stay-at-home mom. I'm a smart person. And I don't think that I'm a genius by any means or like, you know, I did go to some college, but I'm not talking about that. I am logical. I have common sense. I don't lean super far left. I don't lean super far right. I'm not a liberal, but I'm also not far right extremist. I'm just a person, a woman who loves the Lord, believes in the Bible as the absolute truth, and therefore a lot of my beliefs are not popular, but hey, it is what it is. You can be mad at me, but what you need to do is take that up with the author. But I don't, I'm just a normal person trying to raise my kids and navigate my way through this life. And the world is changing for me just as fast as it's changing for the next person. But what I don't want to do, was born and raised here, and it was a great place to live. And I don't want my kids growing up fearing everything and feeling like they have to stay in the house or, bad things are going to happen to them. That's just not how we raise our kids. That's not how I want to raise my kids, So those were a couple of the things I wanted to clarify. There may have been some other stuff that I said, but I can't, I didn't write it down. And like I said, my brain's kind of mush. So, and I know I looked I know I looked a little bit like a lunatic, screaming like that. It was passion. That's what it was. It was just absolute passion. And then of course, this area that we were in was kind of echoey, and it was like bouncing off everything. And then, Quincy said it earlier when he was talking about that Teresa lady, and she just immediately tried to pander to me. It was like, give it a rest. Go talk to somebody who has no idea what's going on, because I've been in the thick of it. I went down there last year, pregnant. I went down there to see with my own eyes what was going on, because I don't trust the media, because they are a virus, a deadly virus. Okay, hold on a second. They are a deadly virus, so I wanted to go see what was going on with my own eyes, because that's the best way to get the full-on information. So the fact that she immediately tried to pander to me and told me that the Yellow Jackets were working in cahoots with the government, with the mayor, is she completely lost off her rocker? Just the amount of pure absurdity, you guys. Absurdity. I can't even believe that this level of crazy is allowed to exist. But you know what? To each their own, because we don't get rid of people just because they have differing opinions and beliefs than us, right? That's the whole point in this. Like, we don't just off people because they have a different political view. I think it's absolute absurdity, but I'm not going to go off them. You can no longer be here, throw bombs at you because you don't agree with me. I just think that you are a complete loony. But it was clear that she has no idea what's really going on, what the reality really is. And mind you, that I was down in the Pearl District. The Pearl District is all this, hoity-toity area. But she's the oppressed one. And I'm coming back into the middle of Northeast where there's shootings down the street. Our car is getting broken into on a monthly basis. And in an apartment, with all of our people living in this apartment in this bad neighborhood. But she's the one who's oppressed. And we're screaming freedom. We've got victory. We've got the victory. We are free indeed. But she's the one who's oppressed? Come on. Like I said, you guys, and I kid you not, we could pick apart that 5-minute video. And even before that even happened, because if you listen to all the speakers even before that and put it all together, and then what I said and how they reacted to it, you could pick apart that 1-hour video, and that will show you the true heart of the city of Portland right now. Our leaders are disgusting human beings. They are racist. They do not care about black lives. And any black life that thinks they do, you are sadly mistaken, and you need to talk to people who know what's really going on, and will let us take you to where you will see the moment you don't agree with them, you no longer matter. And I don't care how much melanin you have in you. I am tired of white liberals trying to tell me how black I am. Joe Biden telling me I ain't black enough. Miss White Liberal in the back telling me that I'm not black enough. The people walking by with Black Lives Matter on their mask, virtue signaling to high heavens, telling me I'm not black enough. I'm sick of it. Sorry, got on a rant again. Thank you so much. I hope you guys will just continue to share these things, because I don't mind being a voice, but I need your guys' help to get it out there, because clearly four news media outlets were there today. I pointed each one of them out, and not one of them asked me for my name. Not one of them cared. And they took the footage back and they looked at it and they said, no, we don't want that. So we have to be our own news media. I need you guys to share it. Get it out there. Because if we can't be our own news media, we're just all subject to the virus of the mainstream. So, okay, I'm going to go. I still have some spiritual warfare to get into that was already planned yesterday. And I can't even, there's not even enough time in this little short spiel that I have to explain all of the pieces that God has like just laid into place. I can't even explain to you. And I've talked about this before on my own channel, about the tapestry of our lives. If anybody has ever seen a tapestry, the back of it, they are beautiful. They are absolutely majestic. They're so beautiful. Tapestries are amazing pieces of artwork. But if you turn it over and you look at the back of it, it is a disaster. It is absolutely a disaster. And you have to think to yourself, how does all of this back here turn into all of this up here? And that's just the thing. The tapestry of our lives don't always look pretty. It's got all of these hanging threads and weaving to and fro and in and out and this and that, and the colors are just all over the place. They don't look like anything. But on the other side is God, what it looks like. God has laid all of these perfect threads in place, and the front of our tapestry is beautiful. Today is the day of salvation. Choose Jesus, because tomorrow isn't promised, and we never know what's going to happen tomorrow morning. All right, guys. I'll talk to you later. Thank you so much. I appreciate all of your support. It is absolutely amazing, and I'll see you soon. Bye.